The reasons why your site is so popular, because you're genuine.
Thanks, and that's what people do say. They feel a ring of truth there. There was the one big white lie, and it didn't happen in 2003, which the Zetas explained was the one lie, and the reason they wanted George Bush to go into Iraq early and fall on his sword, which he has done. At the time, everybody was fervored up. It was, we've got to go in there.
Whoa, excuse me. Can we backtrack for a second here?
Sure.
What you're saying is you were manipulated by the Zeta talks who were looking to manipulate political circumstances here in the U.S. with regards to George Bush.
Yes.
So are you saying that the Zetas are viewing the United States basically as an evil empire?
It's been taken over by a group of evil empire-type people, yes, and very predictable also. And therefore, they wanted to go into these oil-bearing countries just ahead of when the cataclysms might hit, so the troops would be fresh. And by going in too soon, the timing was off. Now, they really thought 2003 was going to happen. You know, we went to level orange during that time. I went on the Lou Gentile show on the 16th and said, okay, it'll be next week. The Zetas said May 20th to 27th, and boom, immediately we were at level orange. And according to the Zetas, Planet X was barreling in from the other side of the sun toward us from Orion, and at that time, May 15th, we couldn't see it. It was just literally on the other side of the sun, so they couldn't tell if it was slowing down or speeding up or what it was doing, and went forward. So other than that white lie, which they did for this reason, to tear down the evil empire, so to speak.
Number 3, February 5th, 2003. Secretary of State Powell tells the UN Security Council of Iraq's concealment of weapons, including 18 mobile biological weapons laboratories, justifying a UN or U.S. first strike. Many in the UN are doubtful. Months later, much of the information proves untrue. February 7th, 2003, 2 days later, as anti-war demonstrations protesting the imminent invasion of Iraq continue to take place around the globe.
Take some time to prepare for an emergency.
Homeland Security Secretary Ridge cites credible threats by al-Qaeda and raises the terror alert level to orange. 3 days after that, Fire Administrator David Paulison, who would become the acting head of FEMA after the Hurricane Katrina disaster, advises Americans to stock up on plastic sheeting and duct tape to protect themselves against radiological or biological attack.
Mr. Secretary, welcome.
Nice to be back. Thank you.
You announced a new kind of ready plan for Americans today. What's the crux of the message?
The basic message is that you can't always predict an attack, but you can always prepare for one. And so the terrorists put us in a position where we make a choice. We can either be afraid or we can be ready. And today we think American families declared we'll be ready.
What are some of the key specifics? What do you think are the most important things you are now advising Americans to do to get ready?
There are 3 basic recommendations that we make that we've made all along that have been on websites with the Red Cross and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, but this is a national multimedia campaign. But have a communication plan with your family, not unlike you might have during other kinds of emergencies.
Just know where they are, how to contact them.
How you can get back in touch with one another. If most households are a little bit like mine, rarely are you under the same roof all at the same time for an extended period of time. So how do you contact one another in the unlikely but possible event something happens to disrupt the family, disrupt the community? The second is an emergency supply kit. There are a basic list of staples, most of which you could pull out of your own cabinet, pull out of the stockpile that you might have in the basement or on the shelves in the kitchen. And the third is just a real message for the adults. Take the time, be informed. And so communication plan, emergency supply kit, be informed, then go about the business of enjoying your family and enjoying America.